Well, welcome back to the When I Heard This podcast. My name is Nate Ramatop. I'm here with Pastor Dr. Joseph Tillman, D-Min Jr.
Sure. I mean, all those are, they all apply.
Yeah.
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 Hey, man.
Yep. Well, we're doing this at night this time.
We are.
For some reason.
Yeah.
We just had to go out of town somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going out of town and just had to get one more episode in.
Yeah. So that we could
have it for all.
Miss an episode.
That's right. Have it for all the good people out there just longing for another episode.
Boy, oh boy, Joseph, are we doing a good topic this week?
It'll be an interesting one.
It's going to get you fired up.
That's good.
In your loins.
Well, yeah, and and just,
even though it's not supposed to,
right? At all.
Yeah,
but we'll go ahead.
I made it sound like we're talking about STDs. Oh well. Well, we kind of are, maybe.
Well, I mean, it could lead to that.
Yeah, if you do this wrong.
Right.
Today we're talking about dating and/or courting.
Right.
Yeah.
So apparently, don't screw it up.
Yeah.
Or you get STDs.
Or don't screw it all.
and there's and that as well.
Yeah. According to
yes. According to me.
According to you, according to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow. Read the ad again.
All right, man. Here we go. Before we get started today with our questions, we want to shout out our sponsor, the Discipleship Group. The Discipleship Group is a systematic training for Christians who want to go deeper and grow stronger in their relationship with God. In these courses, Dr. Jay Zen brings you over 4 decades of study, pastoring, and teaching to equip the saints to make disciples. The Discipleship Group is a series of 6 books, each book consisting of 26 weeks. Therefore, it's 3 years of study. Each week has articles written by the author to read, a chapter from a supplemental book like The Passion for God or More Than a Carpenter, The Master Plan of Evangelism, and there's scripture readings each week from the Old Testament, New Testament, and the Psalms. I've used the Discipleship Group resources for over a decade. I've used them in groups of 2 to 3 people. I've used them in small groups up to 12 people. And I can tell you, as a pastor, as someone who spends a lot of time making disciples and meeting with others, that the Discipleship Group resources are the best that I have found for growing in our faith and for encouraging us to go and make disciples ourselves. Go to discipleshipgroup.com, check out their resources, find out information about Dr. J, and I'm telling you, you will not regret it.
Perfectly adequate job reading the ad one more time.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, sir.
We'll probably read it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think the listeners think it feels like a different type of episode so far?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I'm going to have to pull this audio way, way up. Because why do your voices sound so deep?
Right. We're kind of dragging a little bit.
Tired.
Yeah. So it's
all right.
Right.
Okay.
Turn into a pumpkin pretty soon.
Yeah. Go to Patreon. It's $5.
Mm-hmm.
It's a website where you can click around and find us on there, and then click the $5, give them $5 button, and then we'll get like $4.15 out of that.
Right.
Because the website takes a cut of it, but you can still give us money.
And we will feel encouraged and blessed
and
thankful and grateful for it.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
No, those are all feelings that I have regularly. You can also go to our website where you can give us money in exchange for goods.
Right.
In the form of sweaters and T-shirts.
You can buy merchandise. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then you can poke around there just to see a little bit more about us and what we do here on the When I Heard This podcast.
Yes.
You can also go to Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Rumble, or Locals, and find us there and click buttons on there and do all that.
This is very uninspiring.
Share.
Yeah. Share, like, comment, ring the notification bell.
Just try to drag it out, I guess. Like dating for Christians. See, everything can get tied back to the topic. All right, so that's good. So we're talking about dating, okay, and courting.
Yes.
That's the Christian form of dating.
Well,
to court.
Maybe. For some.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. For Christians, dating starts in court.
Well, no.
And for non-Christians, dating ends in court.
Oh.
Cool. All right. So what is dating according to Christians? And is dating the same thing as courting?
Okay.
According to Christians. And what are they both? And what is courting?
Okay. So dating for Christians, like I feel like there's a large breadth of what that can encompass. Okay. So I think for a lot of Christians, honestly, like I think dating is, in the most simplistic way, probably pretty similar to what most people think of as dating, as we're going out, with individuals, we're, getting to know the person, there's just not sex involved. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
That's the only difference.
And I'm saying for a lot, I think that probably is the case, right? Like the idea of dating is to get to know the person, hang out with the person, do fun activities, have someone to do things with, but just not sex. And so I do think that is for a large number of Christians what dating is.
Okay.
Now there are some that will say we're a Christian and sex is actually a part of dating. So there's that as well. And then you've got, the others that are, kind of the other extreme maybe of where you talk about like with courting, where it's like, no, we don't date. We don't date at all, but we court. And that means that we're going to spend time with one another, around each other's families. And get to know each other in those contexts where there's no temptation to do anything physical or sexual. So,
I mean, unless your family's cool with it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. No, just no. And so I think that's like part of what's considered, quote unquote dating, or I guess courting. And then I think others make a distinction between dating and courting, and all that it really is just semantics. Like, in other words, no, they're really dating. You can call it courting if you want to, because you're a Christian and you're trying to act like it's something really different. But no, it's just dating. It's just getting to know that person again without sex being part of that equation.
So you think the majority of Christians say dating all is normal from what everybody else thinks, except the only thing that we don't do is have sex while we're doing it?
Yes.
For most of them.
I think for most Christians, that's the case.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think most Christians follow that?
Oh, that's a good question. I think a lot do.
Okay.
But no, do I think it's like across the board? Like, no. And is it, I say a lot. Is it majority? I don't know. I mean, I'd probably, if I'm being honest, which I know you're wanting me to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I would assume that most Christians probably end up having sex in a dating relationship prior to getting married.
Okay.
Yeah. That would be especially like in the number of like just, premarital counseling and stuff that we do and hearing people's stories and stuff. It seems like sex before marriage is pretty common, even within Christians.
Okay.
Now it might only happen, with that person after they get engaged, like that happens too, but it's still, I think a lot of individuals do end up having sex before getting married.
Okay. Where in the Bible does it talk about dating or courting?
It never explicitly talks about dating or courting.
Because everyone had arranged marriages?
Yeah, because of whether they're arranged or, for different, whether it's political reasons or family reasons, or whether it was, just in the context of the culture, there was not going to be like dating as we know it or courting as we know it. It would be more along the arranged marriage of families, knowing each other, coming to agreements with their children, that kind of thing. So
purchasing people.
Well, yeah, I mean, not like directly, but where payments are made, gifts are given,
Okay.
and so for someone's hand in marriage. But I think that so the Bible never specifically talks about dating or courting, which I think causes some problems in the way that we're trying to discuss dating and courting in Christian contexts.
Okay.
And because there's not like a biblical passage I can go to and say, this is what it says about dating, or this is what it says about courting. We can go to passages of scripture that says this is, about marriage, and we can go to passages of scripture that, talk about, do not fornicate, right? So in other words, that would say don't have sex outside the context of marriage, but that's really about as much as you get.
What is the point of dating or courting? What is the point of the Christian point of view of doing that?
Okay. Well, I think the Christian point of view should be that, hey, I'm, this individual, I want to get to know them better. Obviously there's, the physical attraction that's there. There's the, the interest, the connection, whatever. And so I want to get to know this person better and to see if there is a romantic connection or a personality, connection that says, hey, let's date and see where this goes. And so I think that, so I think, so I think for a Christian, it really is about getting to know that person. And then you're, along the journey, you're finding out, is this person someone that I would want to spend the rest of my life with?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the whole point is to find someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Yeah, I think obviously the ultimate goal of a dating relationship or a courting relationship in the context of, for Christians, is to find out, is this person someone that I would want to marry?
So then can Christians date with no intent to get married? Is that fine?
Yeah, they can. I mean, like, you mean no intent to get married, like, to that person? Is that what you're saying or asking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or can they date without thinking about that initially?
Because especially if you're like a younger person, like, and I say younger person, I mean, like, let's say you're late high school, just out of high school kind of range, and so you're dating someone, marriage might not be like right there on the forefront, right? It's like, here's someone I enjoy spending time with. We get along well together. We're going to continue to do so, and so, but I think at some point you do have to have like a reasonable expectation of, at some point, like, let's say we start dating in high school and now we're, 19, 20, like, at some point there's got to be some thought of, is this going toward marriage?
Okay.
Right. And if it's not, then why are we still doing this?
Okay.
Yeah. Because I do think that that's the ultimate goal. I think that maybe is a little bit of a difference between like some Christians and some non-Christians. Like, it may, and I will say even Christians do this. Hey, this person's really attractive. I just want to, date them so we can make out and have sex and it's just physical, right? Mm-hmm. It's more lust driven, if I put it that way, right? So, whereas I would hope that within a Christian context, I mean, obviously you want to date someone that you're physically attracted to. So I'm not removing that part of the equation, right? It's just that that's not the whole part of it.
Okay.
And believe me, I'm not saying all non-Christians are doing it that way, where it's just all physical in nature. But what I am saying is that for the Christian in particular, that there has to be I want to get to know this person, that kind of thing. And I don't think and I don't think it's bad. I'll put it this way. I don't think it's bad to date someone and then realize, I just don't connect with this type of person, right? Or realize that, hey, our visions for our future are just really different. We need to end this relationship. Like, I don't think there should be any like regret that I dated this person, because you don't know those things unless you hang out with someone.
Unless you knew those things already and then you still hung out with them anyway.
Well, that's true. But I mean, but hopefully you would realize those things and go, all right, let's,
right,
in the relationship and then, move on.
Okay, the dating courting process.
Okay.
Walk me through what you think as a Christian should be the dating or courting process.
Right. Okay, so
step one.
All right.
What am I doing?
All right. So real quick, let me preface this with a couple things.
Yeah.
Number one, I don't need to use the word courting. I mean, if you want to use the word courting, fine. Okay.
But I like it because it's a Christian word.
I don't know if it's even,
and it makes it sound weird.
I don't even know if it's a Christian word. It's just a word. Like,
fine.
So like,
I'll just use courting then.
It's fine. Like whatever.
Okay.
All right. A couple things.
All right.
I think number one, so there's a book and I've mentioned this book before back when I was in college, called Kiss Dating Goodbye.
Oh yeah.
I Kiss
By some
Dating
weird
Goodbye.
guy.
Yeah. Joshua Harris wrote it. And so that's a terrible book.
And he ended up being gay or something.
Well, he just, no.
Oh, okay.
But he ended up, he and his wife unfortunately divorced, and then he actually ended up just leaving the faith entirely.
Oh,
yeah. And so, but he wrote this book when he was young. He wasn't even married yet. Like, it's just
right.
Why? But anyway, but it became a big thing. People started kind of like following it, and I think that's kind of when there was like this kind of a courting kind of revolution, if you were, because he was like, no dating, yes to courting. And courting again was always in the context of families.
I thought we weren't using that word anymore.
I'm not saying I don't. All I'm saying is I don't feel like we have to use that word when I'm going to be talking about dating here. Okay. And so my point just being is like, so that's a terrible book. All right.
Yeah.
So don't follow the advice of that book.
Okay.
There's another book.
Kiss dating goodbye.
Yeah. Don't read I Kiss Dating Goodbye.
Right. Or no, I kissed dating goodbye. Yeah.
No, there's another book called Boundaries in Dating.
Okay. And this guy ended up being gay.
No. So this is the book I would recommend to people. All right. So like if you're looking for a resource of what should it look like or what could it look like in regards to Christian dating, I think this book by Cloud and Townsend is the best. It's the book I would recommend. Right. It's called Boundaries in Dating.
I hate this already, but keep going.
You just don't like the word boundaries.
I was glad when you hated the first one, but now I'm upset that you like this one. Like, I'm not reading a book about this. Are you kidding?
Well, you don't have to. You're married. That's
right. I already screwed that up.
You should have read the book. That's where your problem was. So anyway, I think that's a good book that gives a healthy, picture of actual Christian dating. Okay. And so,
all right. So walk me through the book.
All right. Well, I'm not going to necessarily walk you through the book, but I will walk you through, as you asked, like a process of dating. Okay. And obviously, number one, when we're for Christians, hopefully, whether it's dating or anything else in life, we're not separating it from our Christian faith, right? And so we want the dating experience to be something that would actually be loving toward God and loving toward the other. Okay. All right. And so therefore it would glorify the Lord in doing so. So I think that's kind of the first thing going in, like, I want to love the Lord and I want to love the other person in the midst of this dating process, right?
Okay. And so I'm 8 years old. I pick up this book, ready to start dating. First step is
you're definitely not
love
ready.
The Lord.
Right. You're definitely not ready at 8. Okay. So, and
I'm sorry, ready to start courting.
Whatever. All right. Well, we're not doing it at 8. I don't care what you call it. Okay. And so, and so I think for individuals that, when we're looking to start like a dating process. All right. So, so first of all, the person that you are, let's say, going out on a date with, right? They are Christian. Like that has to be that has to be like the bare like minimum standard.
Okay, and what does this date look like?
All right. So, I mean, whether it's you're going out with a group of friends, okay, or whether, you know, one of them is going over to the other's house, right?
Okay.
I'm cool with either of those things. All right. And so, but
Joseph, you're married.
I know. And so, okay. Well, okay. I would be cool with either of those things for, let's say, my oldest son. How about that? Okay. And so I think that my point being is when we're dating.
Wait, what are all the other options though?
What's that?
Yeah.
What are the other options?
You're cool with these two options.
Right.
But what are the ones that you're not cool with?
I'm not. Okay. So I'm not cool with, hey, let's go. You know, I'm thinking of South Georgia, but anyway, like, all right, hey, how about you and I, you know, let's go hang out at the farm, or let's go hang out in a field, or let's go, like, I'm telling you South Georgia stuff,
the
right?
Farm? Let's go to the quarry. Let's go hang down by the creek.
My point being is,
we can skip rocks and poke stuff with sticks. Zing.
Okay. Okay. My point being is, let's. All right.
Oh man! Even at night, it's still hot down here.
It really is. All right. So my point being is, like, anytime we get ourselves in a private, secluded situation.
Okay, so that's your point.
That's the issue.
No private, secluded, wooded areas,
or going parking somewhere. Right. Like, that's like. That's the issue.
You always get caught when you do that, though. Somehow they find you. It's crazy.
It really is true.
I just don't get it.
It really is true. But anyways, I think for me, that's like the bigger thing. Like, when I'm talking about like going hang out with, you know, you're going on a date with some friends, or you're going to be at, you know, your parents' places or whatever. Like, you're in public settings, or you're with family, or you're with friends. Like, in other words, you're in group settings. Like, and so all it's doing is
so you just want your kid to be somewhere where you can watch.
Not necessarily where I can watch. You know, if they're out with their friends, cool, right? Like, again, my point just being is, like, to be somewhere where you're removing that element of temptation away.
And why? Okay. So I got a question.
Okay.
Why do you think that removes that element of temptation away? Because I don't think that works.
Well, okay. Why don't you think it works?
Because my, yeah, that's why. Because my stuff didn't just turn off because you're in the room. No. I'm still gonna want to do stuff.
Sure. No. Okay. I'm not saying that it removes. I'm saying it removes any kind of desire. Okay.
But you said it removes the temptation.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. Let me clarify. The temptation of actually acting upon. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh.
So yeah. Right. So no. I'm not saying it removes any kind of like desire or anything, right? Okay. And my point just being is, and you're like, well, why does, is that the big focus of it? No, it's just if I can remove that element, right? Then the date can be about really getting to actually know that person, interact with that person. Okay?
Okay, so other counterpoint then.
Okay.
How can I really get to know another person when one of our dads is in the room?
Right.
I'm not really getting to know you at all.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
So we were talking about like process point one Okay. So I'm not saying.
So this is point one.
Right. I'm not saying there's not.
So later we can go somewhere where we want to go without you.
100%. Go hang out at Starbucks. Go
okay.
Go have a meal together
with other people.
Yeah, with other people, or just like if you need to go have, if you need to go, hang out at Starbucks in a public space, and you each get there in your own vehicle. Like, because we're not talking about all just teenagers here. Like, you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s or whatever. You want to go on a date? No, I'm not going to go over to mom and dad's house all the time, right?
Mom.
Right? So to make this like tangible for anyone, regardless of age. Okay, so, and we're probably not going to always be able to do things with friends. So can we show up and have a meal together? Yeah, you show up and go to Starbucks together. Absolutely, right? Like. My point just being is, but remain in those public spaces.
Okay.
And you can get to know each other in that way.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Step 2.
Okay. Well,
what's the book say?
Well, I think I think the point of dating is to get to know that person, right? And hopefully discover.
Wait, so that was all the steps? So the entire time you're dating, first date is come over, let's hang out with my dad. And then and then every day after that is 2 cars to Starbucks.
What?
And then at some point you decide whether you want to marry them or not marry them. And then if you do want to marry them, you keep meeting at Starbucks. Until you want to get married.
Okay, I'm not saying we don't do go to church together, right?
Oh, okay.
Go to church together.
Churches have coffee shops.
Some do.
Some of them.
Some of them do.
So you can meet there.
Yep. Yeah. So this is true.
Yeah.
This is true. So yeah, but go to church together. Go see a baseball game together, right? Like,
okay.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying it always has to be literally we're at Starbucks every single night, right?
Why is your dad on the Jumbotron?
He's everywhere, man. Yeah. Right. So no, so I'm not saying I'm not saying don't go do things together. No, go do things together.
Lookalikes. Jessica's dad.
Oh, man. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you see what I'm saying?
I get it.
All right.
Sounds just expensive. And yeah.
Going to church doesn't cost you anything.
Wow. Okay. So are we done with this question?
I don't. Apparently we are. Apparently so.
Okay. So but wait.
Yeah.
Everybody else dates differently. So why is that the Christian way of doing it, and everybody else is wrong, according to you?
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Okay. So all right. My point in all of this is for a Christian,
mm-hmm.
right? We want to be able, so if I'm dating someone, I want to be able to, again, I want to love the Lord and love and respect them in the midst of the process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So part of that love and respect, is to honor them and to treat them as a child of God. And so we're wanting to not, again, it's not just about remaining pure. And I think in a lot of especially in youth group settings, probably when you were growing up,
mm-hmm.
it was the dating thing was just don't have sex. Don't have sex.
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
That's what you said at the beginning.
That was the talk. Well,
you said do everything everybody else does.
Well, yeah.
But don't have sex.
Well, I'm saying what it looks like is often that. Okay? But my point being is but it's got to be more than just don't have sex. It's okay, so what does it look like for me to actually get to know, to interact with this person, to find out and discover things about myself, about them, like there is a whole interaction thing that's going on that I think is actually can be really healthy. And it can actually help you, determine, no, this is not the type of person that I need to date, or and so they're I'm going to connect with, well. And so I do think it actually helps form a little bit of a, form a sense of of what is it that I'm actually looking for, in another person.
Why do you think the sex part ruins your perfect Christian dating courting process? Why is that the hard no?
Yeah, because we were, as individuals created in the image of God, as individuals created by the Lord, the Lord actually puts in these, and I like the word that boundaries in dating, these boundaries, if you were, to actually help us stay healthy within ourselves and in our relationships with others.
Okay.
And I think when sex becomes a part of the relationship, now we've entered into another step of intimacy that really is reserved for just marriage. And the reason that it's reserved for just marriage, it's not just because of, that's, where the Lord just is demanding it that way and that's just the way it is and da-da-da. It's also because...
Yeah, we've talked about this and it doesn't make sense.
Okay. Of
why... yeah. I feel like I tried to get you to make sense of it for me and I don't get it.
Of why not to have sex before marriage?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think for me, again, it's entering in to a place of intimacy that is supposed to be reserved for only you and your spouse.
Okay.
Okay. And so there's even statistically, individuals that have sex before marriage, the marriage has a much more difficult time in just quote unquote secular stats, that counselors have, and their own recommendations. Oftentimes that would be the case. And so I think that sex is, again, it's a sacred act between a husband and a wife. And that, again, it's because it's not just about the physical act. There's actually an intimacy that's happening that is emotional, that's mental, that's spiritual, that's all part of coming together as a husband and a wife. And so where there's an intimacy there, that all of that is actually supposed to be kept sacred and kept holy. And I think that one of the things that happens is when sex is occurring prior to marriage for Christians, and it's oftentimes what happens is that act is no longer seen as holy. It's no longer seen as something that is that is quote unquote, a good gift. It's oftentimes for Christians, you walk away feeling, there's either guilt or shame or just a sense of, now I'm really intimately connected with this individual. Even if there's not guilt and shame, and even removing the Christian part of it, just for non-Christians, there may not be the guilt and shame of having sex, right? For the non-Christian, okay, there's no guilt and shame. But now oftentimes, when and if that relationship ends, oftentimes now there's, I'm looking back at it and I'm wishing I had not gotten that intimately involved with that individual and given that part of myself to that person.
Okay.
And so I feel like that's why the Lord really is trying to establish these things to keep it healthy and to keep it, good and, free of any kind of regret or guilt or shame or harm or hurt. And so it's protecting not only just the physical act of it, but it's also protecting our own hearts in it.
Okay.
And so for me, that's why sex should not be a component of dating or courting, if you want to call it that. And so, for me, that is why.
Okay. So what I would say is that none of the things that you just said about what sex is provable.
What do you mean?
Like that it's spiritual or mental or all the other things beyond a physical act.
Well, that's not true. I mean, on the most basic level, it's emotional, right?
Okay.
And the emotions and emotions become tied up into it.
I guess.
Yeah. Now, from a male perspective,
but God's not saying it's an emotional problem; it's a spiritual problem, right?
Well, I think that's where, and I know I even use languages like, emotional or whatever and distinguish it between spiritual. But I think that for the Lord, he's always looking at the whole of a person, the wholeness. And so I don't think there's many acts or things that we do that aren't affecting the other parts of who we are.
Okay.
And so I think we would be naive to think that I do something physical with my body, that it doesn't have a connection to my soul and my spirit. I think that's naive to think that.
Holding hands.
Uh-huh.
All right. Something that a lot of Christians say never to do.
Okay.
Because that leads to
other things.
Children. So
yeah.
So when do you I guess I'm asking these questions because like you've taught youth groups and stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? So like but nobody really ever talks about like 40-year-olds dating. So when is it okay for anybody to hold hands in a Christian dating relationship according to marriage counselor, Pastor Dr. Joseph Tillman?
Oh goodness. Okay, so all right, yeah. So I had a campus pastor. Okay. On the college, and every year we did a retreat on
he
dating.
Tried to hold your hand?
No. Every year we did a retreat on dating.
It started so gay. Okay, keep going.
You made it that.
No.
So,
I had a campus pastor, and every year we'd go on a retreat.
Yeah, with our campus ministry.
Sorry,
man.
It's hard for these jokes not to come up the whole time.
I know. All right, so, and every year he did this retreat on dating. Okay, and so it was Friday night, sessions, all day Saturday sessions, Sundays, and it was all in the context of dating. All right.
Okay.
One of the things that he would talk about in there is that, like you said, there is a progression of physical intimacy.
Right.
Okay. There's no question about it. All right.
Okay.
And so, and that one thing can lead to the other,
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't downplay any of the things we're going to talk about here in regards to, that it, like when I hold someone's hand, right, that's a physical connection there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, but if you've been dating someone and you're holding their hand, like, okay, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Right. Like we're good.
Been dating.
Yeah. Like
okay.
Like in other words, like, probably not first date you're holding hands.
Okay.
Right. And I'm not saying there's this hard, fast rule of when you're doing it. My point just being is like,
we're going to get to all those people with the hard rules.
Yeah.
Eventually
I'm not trying to set these hard, fast rules. Yeah. I'm just saying, hey, I've got to know this person. I feel comfortable with this person. I'm enjoying their company. We're going to hold hands. Okay. Like, I'm good with that.
Okay. All right. So, extended spouts or bouts or sessions of hugging.
Oh, yeah. The hugging sessions.
Yeah, because they would always put a ruler in between you and say, nope. Your dad would come over and push your shoulders apart and say, that's too close, children.
Okay.
I don't want grandkids yet. That's what they'd say.
Okay, well.
And nobody knew what a condom was. Or birth control.
Right. Completely questionable. Yeah, no, so like, I think there's like the kind of like the couple, I think there's like a couple progressions of this.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's the arm around the shoulder.
I didn't realize how weird this was going to be to talk about.
Yeah. It shouldn't be weird. Like, okay, like, so like arms around the shoulder. Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. The hugs, yes, that's going to happen. And so, I mean, I think that there's like, if I'm just standing there, and we're just, hugging seemingly forever, that may be questionable. But
that's just kind of weird. At some point, even you'd be like, just go ahead.
Right.
Like,
no.
What are you guys doing?
Right. I mean, like, I think so.
I don't want to stop, but I don't want to not stop.
So, yeah. So I think for me, I think that's like, all right. Like if we're giving each other a hug, good night, moving on. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if I'm sitting there and we're hugging and it's, we're chest to chest and we're, tight embrace and, I think that's probably going, okay, we probably need to back up at this point.
All right. Kissing.
When
can we kiss? How many
kisses
times do I have to go to Starbucks with this girl before I can kiss her? How many damn coffees do I have to buy before I can get one kiss? Oh my God.
Okay, so I guess
baby, we've been here 376 times
in 80 days. Right.
All right, so what's the deal?
All right. And for me, I feel like this is where the line really starts forming for people in the Christian world, right? Like I feel like this is like the dividing line in some ways for people.
All right.
Like going like no kissing, and then others are going to be like, no, kissing's okay.
Yeah.
And then there's like the degrees in there. Like it's okay to like
kissing's okay, but not on the lips.
Right. Or yeah, like there's that, or there's I
mean anywhere other than the lips?
And so and I think the other part of it is like, okay, the good night kiss is different than like the makeout session. Right. And so
sure.
Yeah. And so I think, but I do think for a lot of people, like the kiss is like, okay, that's as far as we're going to go. Although I know some will say, don't do that at all.
Right. And some will say, don't hold hands at all.
Right. I mean, you're always going to have those. So, but I feel like.
And some will say, don't know anyone of the opposite sex ever.
Right. Just don't.
They don't exist.
Right. Or at least just don't hang out with them. Yeah. No, I feel like. In the circles I have ran in, like the conservative circles I've ran in, I feel like kissing is like, okay, that's like the final step. Like, in other words, like you can kiss, but don't go beyond that.
The one after kissing.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're on Goodview, so how do we do this?
Oh, okay. I was just about to start talking. I'm glad you said that.
Hands under clothes.
Okay.
Is that better?
Okay, yeah, that's
the others than the real terms,
right? No.
Okay.
Yeah, so like,
why do Christians love definitions of stuff instead of the words for it?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like just say it.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, like no. So like if like for
no roaming hands. Is that what you call it?
Right.
Yeah.
No roaming of hands.
I'm gonna go home and roam with my hands a little bit.
Right. And so
on myself.
Okay.
Or you know what I'm saying? We don't want to say that word.
No, don't say that. Yeah, I know. So no, I think that no. So for me, like, and I think for a lot of Christians, after the point of kissing, so like anything that is involving touching. Can we just say breast and just be done with it? Or
breasts?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Okay, so I think that I mean, is that okay?
I'm gonna leave all this in.
Oh.
so I guess it's on there.
can't leave.
Can we
this.
say breasts? I don't know. I guess in the context of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Sure, I guess.
Okay. No, I think again, once once we get past kissing, no, hands shouldn't be roaming anywhere. Okay. And so
ever for Christians, no.
Not in dating context. No.
Okay.
And so I think that really is kind of the line where, all right, everything else beyond this, so, the groping or oral sex, having sex, like all of that is no.
But none of that stuff is real sex unless you put the thing in the thing, right?
Okay.
So
yeah.
Why are we drawing line
lines.
after kissing?
Sure.
And why do you think that's the normal Christian line?
Yeah, because I do think that sexual fornication, the way it's described in the New Testament, is describing anything that is sexual that is occurring outside of the context of marriage, which would include, grabbing butt, grabbing breast, oral sex, all those things leading up to intercourse itself.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, that's like, I think that anytime we're getting into any of that space, that's for me why Christians draw that line.
Okay. What do you think is the most important part of the dating courting process?
Getting to know the other person, because that's the ultimate point of it for me.
Okay.
Again, I know we prefaced it with the fact that we want to love God and love others, right? And so, but I think that's the whole point of it is like, because eventually you're going to want to, like, the person you marry is going to become your best friend.
Okay.
And so you want to, as you're hanging out with a person, like, do I actually enjoy being with this person? Right.
Okay.
When it's not all the, sexual stuff or the physical stuff, at the end of the day, do I just enjoy being with this person? And so for me, that's the most important part, because enjoying being with that person and finding out if your vision of the future are similar enough to where you believe that you can kind of work this stuff out. Because I think there's a lot of things going on in the getting to know the person. Okay. So in getting to know the person, I wanted to find out about, what are their future dreams and hopes and ambitions? What do they believe, theologically? What is their relationship with God like? And because, earlier on I said that the baseline for, is like, okay, I'm going to date someone who's a Christian. Well, are they a Christian in name only, or do they really love the Lord? And I think those things are important to find out.
Okay.
And do we enjoy being, in the same type of worship sets, or worship services, excuse me, and I think
who knows? Yeah. We've only been to Starbucks for the first 200 dates we've been on.
I told you can go to church too, man. So yes, go to church. But I mean, there's all kinds of things you're going to talk about. You're going to talk about families. You're going to talk about finances, talking about your future. I think all of these things are really important as you're getting to know each other. And do we align on these things?
Okay.
And so I think all of that's important in getting to, when I say getting to know the person, it encompasses all of this kind of stuff. It encompasses personality, future, finances, religious preferences, religious beliefs. All of these things are, finding out about their family, all that kind of stuff. I think all of that is really important to know. And then making determinations of, okay, is this the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with or not?
Well, how would I make that determination? How much do I need to know?
Well, I mean,
at what point would I just go, yeah, that's enough?
Well, I think that's gonna differ.
Or I'm so sick of Starbucks. Can we just get married, please? I hope your kids like coffee. Because holy shit.
You've taking the Starbucks thing
hey,
so...
son, you taking her to Starbucks today? Grande.
Moved up to that venti,
Yeah.
so, you know. But no,
Gonna need a venti because we're gonna be there a long time. Just getting to know each other so hard and good and hard and long at Starbucks. And then we're going to have a 4-hour hug in the parking lot and go home. No kissing, though.
No kissing. We did it. We did a high five.
Dating.
Oh, Lord have mercy. You took that Starbucks thing so literally.
Like, that's it.
That's it. That's the only option.
One time we hang out with your dad at Starbucks from here till the end. Might as well get married at the Starbucks. Set up one of the conference rooms for us for afterwards.
I'm bringing the pastor in. Oh, Lord. Okay, so was there a question in all that?
Oh, yeah. What's the point of getting to know
how much do you have to know?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
How much do I have to know?
Yeah, I think that's gonna really depend on person to person.
Okay.
Like, I think some people are gonna, they're gonna maybe hang out, and after 5 dates, they're like, yeah, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with.
No, it's not.
So, and I think others are going to take longer. I think if you asked, like, for example, like making it a little more personal, me and my wife, like if you asked my wife, I think she would have probably told you pretty early on, within the first probably few months. She was like, yeah, that's the person I want to marry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so where for me,
just Joseph over here. Yep.
For me,
I had her hooked right from our 15th Starbucks.
Right. Our first date was actually at Ruby Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Ruby Tuesday. But for
with the salad bar.
Yeah. Love that salad bar.
Yeah.
It was so cheap. So
cool.
But like for me, like, so we started dating in December, and for me it probably was like July. So that's for
Okay.
And
July till what? July for what?
Oh, for when I was like, yeah, this is the like I want to marry Melanie.
Oh,
yeah. So like for me, that was when I knew.
You got engaged. Oh,
no. We didn't get engaged until a year after we started dating.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's like when I knew. I was like, yeah, this is because that's in July. I think it was first part of July. That was the first time I told her that I loved her.
Oh, okay.
But that's when I didn't use that phrase until
I didn't ask you that question.
Yeah, like I didn't use that phrase until I knew.
I'll ask you that next time.
Okay. Yeah, I used that. I didn't use the phrase "I love you" until I knew that I wanted to marry her.
Okay.
Sorry. So all I'm saying in that is that I think it's going to be different for different individuals. Some people may date for a couple months and know it. For some people it's going to take longer, and so I think there's a lot of different factors that go into that too for different individuals.
What's the baseline amount of get to know someone that you would say for Christians to have before they say, I want to marry this person? Like, what should I at least know? Okay,
like what should I actually know about the person?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would want to know, like, what is their relationship with the Lord is like?
Okay.
I would want to know again, what is their picture of the future, their vision for what they want to do in life.
Okay.
Does that coincide with me, or does it collide with what I want to do? So at least
know those two things.
Yeah, and I would also want to know, hey, what is your, in your relationship with the Lord, like, what are the things that you prefer, in church, in worship, in, how we, those kind of things. Like, those are some things I'd want to know.
Oh, okay.
Or even theologically, like, are we on the same page theologically?
Okay.
Or are we in completely different camps?
Why does that matter?
Because like if I've got one person that's like, oh, I believe in the charismatic gifts, that the gifts are for today, and that's an important part for me. I highly value that. And then you've got someone else who doesn't value that at all and actually rejects that notion that the gifts are for today. That's going to lead to problems not only between you and that individual, it's going to lead to problems of how you raise your children.
Man, it's just hard enough to find another Christian.
And it can be. Yeah. So I'm not, it depends on how highly
if you're a Christian,
right.
Because there's not a lot of them.
It depends on how highly you value those things.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, I mean, those are things that, that are worth talking about. And then I think there's other things. Like for me, I really wanted to find someone that had a really strong, will, had strength to her, where I couldn't just, in my kind of extrovertedness and passion, just kind of run her over, if you were. Okay. I wanted someone that could stand up to me to say, no, I don't like this, and to be a very, and that's who I married. Melanie, my wife, is a very independent thinker, and a very strong person, and very intellectual, very smart, and so it gives me a good buffer, if you were, and I that's one of the things I was actually looking for.
But that's you. But you
that's
think
me.
The first three things are what every Christian should think about when dating, and at least know those three things.
Yeah, and I would say this. I would also want to know they were kind. And that may sound like a weird one.
Okay.
But because you're going to be with them if you're planning on being with them the rest of your life, you want to make sure that the person that you're marrying is kind to you.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? Like that the way they're going to treat you, is with kindness and with,
okay.
I think that's with respect, with honor. That I think those are important things.
So when they call your names, you both should get up to go grab the cups of coffee.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Out of kindness.
Out of kindness.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, we're only at Starbucks.
Well, Joseph, I had a really good time.
Me too, Nick.
We should do this again.
I would love that.
I can't believe you're playing along. This is so fun. Anyway, let's go to Starbucks. Cool.
I'd love to.
Okay. I'd love to. Cool. Can't wait to hug you after we hit record. for 4 hours. Hold it. It's too hot down here. Go to Patreon, $5, like, subscribe, share, comment, follow, download. You can follow the podcast on Facebook and Instagram at When I Heard This Podcast, and X and locals at When I Heard This. Ring the notification bell, tell everyone that you know about the show, and go to the website where there's t-shirts. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Nate Robinsoff. You can follow Joseph on Instagram at
Rev Joe T.
This has been the When I Heard This Podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. I'm not